everybody. I'm so excited today. It is Friday, so it is a fun day. Well, we try to keep everything fun, but we have our lovely friend, Miss Julie Cotton. She does so many amazing things, but we're going to highlight the improv. But as you can tell, she's very smart, and she does some body work stuff too, which we'll probably talk about.
However, she doesn't actually just work on the skeletons. She actually works on people with skin and things.
That's right. Yeah, they're like there's bone, there's muscles up there.
Yeah, and they have skin.
Yes. I love where this has already started. This is so great.
It's always fun with Miss Julie Cotton. So, Julie, tell us a little bit about how you became an entrepreneur and why you created the fun, interactive game that all business professionals should be playing.
You don't have yours yet. You need to get it. All right. So improv for me, gosh, I used to be a tour actor back in Arizona with scripts. We used to actually have scripts and music and costumes and all that kind of stuff. I actually had a school play come in when I was 9 years old. It was a company called Child's Play. And I was like, ooh, I want to do that when I grow up. And I did. I worked for that company for 5 seasons and it was amazing. And I learned how to improvise because when you do 8 shows a week, it gets really boring after a while. And the children are not, they will not have it if you're phoning it in, right? Like they require your presence or you will lose the audience. So it was a really great way for me to learn in the doing of day-to-day life, which life for me was play. I mean, why not? And then later I got to use those skills because I'd just been doing improv for years at that point. I was part of a holistic healing group. We would gather together on Monday nights called Heart Space in Florida. And we would meditate and we would talk about like, what is everybody up to we kind of break bread together, have a potluck. And one guy, the guy that ran it, also ran a rehabilitation recovery center with mental health patients and dealing with addictions. And Terry, you probably know a lot about that, about that world.
A little bit.
But he was like, we presented one night. I brought my troupe in, and I was performing with the troupe called Sick Puppies Comedy at the time, and we performed, and then we kind of did a crowd involvement thing, and they had so much fun. He was like, I feel like this would be a really good replacement tool or something for my patients that are replacing their life activities where there was an addiction or there was like cutting or whatever they were doing. And I feel like they could really benefit from having something positive and joyful and the learning of like teamwork together, making the scene up together. All of that would be a nice thing to boost their endorphins, all these things. So that's where Next Level Improv started, was at the bequest of that friend at Heartspace wanting me to come in and serve his audiences.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So where did it go from there?
Oh, gosh. Well, then I joined a transformational leadership company called Gratitude Training in South Florida as well. And they had a one-day improv acting class where they were combining transformational leadership concepts. Think like EST, think like Human Potential Movement, right? Like Landmark Forum is another one of those. And I sat there in the class going, oh my gosh, this is what I do in the recovery center. Like I should work for this company. And so I ended up becoming one of their trainers and then infusing that and ended up in the Michigan area where we had a center up there, met a boy, moved to Michigan. And that boy actually connected us with the coach that we are a similar coach that we work with, Paul Fink. And then it turned into like, well, how can I use this to serve entrepreneurs, not just people that are wanting to elevate their emotions, but that people actually, can't we feel good at business too? And so then I started doing a lot more like lunch and learns and corporate trainings. And then the game came in. I almost showed you my phone, but that's not the game came in a meditation I was doing to be like, how can I help more people? Because I'm just one me, and one lunch and learn with 30 or 100 people, it's not really a way to scale anything. And the card game came in, and then, yeah. So now we're kind of I feel like I'm in a building phase. I'm in a like like putting pieces in place so that I can serve the most people.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, because you've created the leverage, and now how to get the
leverage
you out of it, but you're still bringing it to people. So one of the improv games that I know that you play, there's like 5 different ways you improv, but one of my favorites is besides the game, of course, is questions. Yes. Because questions really come up in sales. So I'll set my little timer. And I'm gonna have you and Terry play because you guys, it'd be weird if all 3 of us.
Okay, can we like tee up the rules around the game so that if you buzz one of us out, we know? Can I tell
the rules is I win. That's the
yeah. Do I let my partner win or
right.
Yes, I don't know. It's a little biased. Yeah, Julie, set us up because you've probably set this up a lot more than I have.
Yay.
We'll play by your rules.
Okay, the rules that I typically go by, and you tell me because house rules win all the time. So if you want to kibosh any of these, please feel free to. But basically, the idea is this is a game in questions. So the entire scene is going to transpire using only questions, which means we cannot make a statement. If either one of us makes a statement, we would be buzzed out, right? And then somebody else would tap in and take that person's place and keep the game going, or whatever we try, or the timer starts again, So no statements. No repeats, meaning I cannot repeat what the other person just said. And this becomes really tricky. Like what do you think about blah, 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 what do you think about da, 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 and I can change the end of it. But then if we keep doing the what do you think setup, that becomes a repeat after 2 times of using it, right?
Okay.
So you don't have to play but this way, but and then also if you complete non sequiturs usually get buzzed out. Like if you completely change the subject.
Like, what about bananas?
Hey, is that a fly in your face? And if you take too long, like if you're thinking too long, because the idea would be that this is pretty conversational. Not that we don't pause in conversations, we do. Some of us more than others. All right. So are you good? Are you amenable to those rules, Dr. Terry?
No.
Okay.
Wait. Did we start already?
All right, I've got a 1:30 on the clock. Julie?
I'm amenable.
We'll have Terry start it off because you set up the rules. Ready? Terry.
What is your weather out there like today?
Do you mean here where I am?
I'm buzzed out. Look at that. You got me. Let's start again. Let's do that again. You start.
We're warming up. We're just getting the gunk out. Okay.
Right.
What's your favorite thing about Christine?
What time of the day are you speaking of?
Aren't we in the moment?
Are there more than one moment?
Is it this moment or the next moment?
Is a moment really something that we can talk about?
Wouldn't it be fun to dissect a moment?
How would that work?
Should we try it?
When do we start?
Would you like to go first, or do you want me to?
Do you want to go first?
Do you think I should? Would that be rude? Like? Would it be rude if did I just cut you off?
Did that really happen?
Are you upset with me?
Is this really going anywhere?
Why? Is it important that it goes somewhere?
Is it important to you that it goes somewhere?
Isn't it okay that we just be with each other right now?
Can we ponder that a moment?
Isn't that what we're doing?
That was really good. I'm like, I don't know how I would play, but I think it's a really important skill to learn in coaching. And so, Julie, can you name like the other 4 kind of games you play within improv? I mean, I'm sure people have watched the fun show on TV, but what are the other 4 games?
Oh gosh, there's hundreds of games, but maybe you're talking about the types of games. So typically, I host an improv happy hour every week on Wednesdays, and in that, I will run the class kind of the same way. I look at improv like I would look at a dojo, like martial arts. So we start with kind of warm-ups, like we did the first time. The reason it took us a moment to get off the ground is it's very natural for us to need to warm up our imaginations, to warm up our, articulators, and just we call it getting the gunk out. Like if you open a lotion bottle and you haven't used it in a while, there's that gunk, right?
Take off the little top of,
same thing. So
and then it flows.
Exactly. I wouldn't take my body for a run without stretching hopefully without stretching it first, right? So same thing, we're using our imaginations like a muscle. And so I would start with it. There's a whole slew of warm-ups that help warm up our bodies, our voices, our imaginations, just like real quick exercises that get us moving and get us present in the moment. I usually start with a meditation actually, but that's not an improv thing. That's a Julie does improv thing. And then we would do skill builders. So a skill builder would be like, we want to practice initiating. And initiation is like, is giving as much data to your partner as possible, your scene partner, right? Like, who are we? Where are we? What just happened? How do you feel about it? So
I think that would have made our game a little bit more.
That's right.
We just started off like
we just played us. Right? We weren't playing characters. Yes.
So each one of those is what you're talking about. That's this game, right?
That's right. This game was designed to build the skill of improv in the privacy of your own home or office or group, wherever you like to do that kind of thing. And these are the 5 most common things suggestions we would get from an audience, which is basically the basics of storytelling: who, what, where, why. Who are they? Right. Why are they there? What do they have? What's the influence? Maybe they're at a Starbucks. So that's the location, the scenario is they're on a first date or whatever. So those are the kinds of things that are contained in these cards. And that is so that people can get the gunk out on their own, because a lot of times people are afraid of.
Right. And it's really fun because when we were at our mastermind, I think we had 15 people or 10 people playing it. And it was, and for me, I'm actually a goofball and I screw around a lot, but it's funny because as soon as you get into that, you're like, oh, wait a minute, improv. Oh, I don't know how to do that. And then the cards really naturally gave you the parameters to allow yourself to let go and be silly. And when I do my hypnosis shows, the stage shows, I give people the parameters. Okay, what we're doing is this, this, and this, and this is how it's going to run. And that's what those cards do. So it's a really nice way to create a framework for you to be that silly person that everybody has inside of them that they don't like to let out because
totally. Yeah. I mean, our natural inner child knows how to play, right? We just adult ourselves and forget. We're trying to get along in a world where play doesn't seem to rule the day. I don't know why.
I don't either. It's true.
But yeah, so the skill builders is another type of game. And those can be like, even just learning to think quickly on your feet could be building a skill, putting on a character, talking with different voices. If I just wanted to get a practice of what is it like if I'm someone else and I don't talk the way I normally talk. I'm going to be like, hey, yo, what are you doing over there? Right, that's a skill, right? Just throwing on a different voice or something. So that would be something we would do reps on, is just giving yourself permission to talk not like you normally talk. So skill builders, and then scenic play is another type of game. And then there are tons of the game in questions would be a scenic play game. We didn't necessarily do it like a scenic play. We did it more like a warm up because we were just us.
Right.
But yeah, once we get into a scene, then we might assign parameters, like we know each other in a specific way or whatever.
We have a friend, Bill, who does this alien voice on Zoom that is just absolutely amazing. If he's listening, we got to hear it again, Bill. It is amazing.
I want to hear it. Video or it never happened.
It's Bill. Bill's the man. We had him on our show a few weeks ago.
I'll have to watch back. Okay.
He didn't do it then. He was shy. So I like to bring it up.
Yeah. But it's interesting though, what would have us be, and this is something that I speak to whenever I work with people, is how can we create an environment where it's safe enough to feel okay doing it, right? If I'm only going to do it around certain people, well, what are the permissions that we've granted to those people to allow them to see another aspect or dimension of us that we don't give to the rest of the world? And why would there be that incongruence? Why not just be who we be?
Exactly.
In all
exactly.
spaces. Mm-hmm.
We did a little bit of that when I was in grad school. We did a little bit of drama therapy and that type of thing to bring that out. And the funny thing is, and this is a really an interesting point that goes to a lot of stuff that we talk about, you and I, is that we're already playing roles in whatever we're doing.
That's
we
right.
just don't know it.
That's right.
But
Yep.
the reality is that every one of us is playing out the story that we've told ourselves. We believe it, and so we play that role. And if we were actually able to convince somebody of a different role for them, that goes against what they believed for so long, they could play that role just as well. And so it's really letting go of our preconceived notions about what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be that allows us to grow. And that's what I think you really, really go at, is helping people to break out of their believed story.
Yeah. Well, and at least to give them the space to notice that it is a story and that they have choice, right? Like we have a choice. And so giving you a different choice, be like, here, ready? Let's all tell the story of I'm bored. All right, great. Now let's let that story come and scene. Now let's tell the story of I'm really excited because I'm going to go on a really hot date tonight. Yeah, totally. Right. So neither one of those things were necessarily accurate to our personal stories. And yet we were able to put them on like a costume and wear them for the time we were deciding to wear them. And so just that little bit of awareness can go a long way, as you'd be like, oh, okay. So next time somebody like says something and you're like, I can't believe I said that. Ooh, cool. Hey, I'm telling a story.
Exactly.
I'm telling that, oh, I'm tagged story. Well, what part of me is tagged and what's the value of that? You know, what's the opportunity here I can either let myself really be tagged and go there and like run that train, run the course, you know, enjoy the scene, like really get into super fun to play characters that are angry and villains. And, you know, it's like, what would happen if I just let myself be a jerk right now? Like, I'll be really fun.
Could be really fun with some consequences, but at the same time, it might be really beneficial.
Well, especially if that's the opposite of what you are. Like, I typically believe I'm not a jerk, but it could be fun to play one.
That's right.
I believe she's not. I mean, around me, she's not, but I don't know what she's like around other people.
Well, and this is where improv can create the context or the environment to play out some of those aspects of ourselves that we disown or we're unwilling to let be. I call it like I've got a whole crayon box, right? Like I've got the big one with all the 64 and the sharpener, you know, like versus just 8. Oh, I can only show these 8 to the world. But we actually have the potential to paint with all of the different colors. But if we never flesh those out or get comfortable using them, then we might judge them as bad or wrong. And so we cut ourselves off from the wholeness of who we can be in any environment.
So one of the things that I think about is cold calling and getting on the phone. I know that I was a little shy about doing things like that when I first started doing sales and things like that. And I mean, I had a career of sales that didn't go so well when I was a youngster. I sold TriStar vacuums, which basically was nothing.
I've never heard that one.
Oh yeah,
That's probably because it was nothing.
16. I was about 16, and you know, I needed a job, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, you can do this and make a lot of money if you just set appointments." And so, you know, okay, I go in, pick up the phone, and at this time it was corded, and so we couldn't run away with it. But I pick up the phone, it freeze, and what my friend told me was, pretend you're somebody else.
That's right. That's right.
And so I started doing that. And that's one of the things that I tell people when they start getting nervous about making phone calls is think of the person who you know is really, really good at it and pretend you're them. And then call and make that call as if you're them. And it's amazing how quickly people get over the block then. Yep.
Yeah, it's a similar direction I've given with a woman who is one of my first coaching clients. She was an advanced level mathematician at like Princeton or no, maybe it was Rutgers. I can't remember. But she was like, hey, will you come in and work with my graduate math students to help them? They were never taught to be teachers. That's a whole other issue, but they were having to teach the undergrads as part of their teacher assistantship or whatever they award, like to pay their way through. And so I did like a crash course in curriculum design because I'm a theater ed major, so I had the education bit. But moreover, I was giving them the experience with the putting on of the costume of a professor, right? Like this is the mathematical professor costume, and you just take it off when you're not in the classroom and you can go back to being a grad student or whatever. But when you step in this space, this is the character. And then how do you want that character to be? You know, do you want to be confident? Do you want to be fun? Do you want to be blah, 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 whatever? And like we kind of decided together what they felt like they could truly wear and step into. And it was really pivotal for the woman who hired me. She was graduate math woman in a male dominated world. And she's just like, ever since then, she's like, Julie, it changed my life. Like I just step into the mathematical professor, my mathematical character, and she does not have the mood swings that I have. She's like, she doesn't get headaches. It's crazy. It's almost like I would imagine schizophrenics, right? Or that multiple personality disorder, where one of them might be tested and they're diabetic and the other one has no symptoms of that, right? Or like, because the mind is this really powerful space where we've only begun to like scratch the surface of how we can really use it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
We do have our friend Robin joining us, and she said that she had so much fun, that she hadn't laughed so hard in a long time when we played. And I was thinking the same thing, like just going back to it, I am like rolling on the floor. And I know we have some videos of that.
Oh my God.
The one who surprised us of all was our friend Dan.
Oh my God.
Just this mild manner, very quiet, kind of you just don't see it coming.
Yeah.
And he was hilarious. And so it's proof that when you give some kind of structure to people and give them permission, like you were saying, to be outside of their normal way they show up, that they can let go and let loose, and it's amazing fun.
Well, yeah, and the energy that it feeds, just playing gets you in the energy to go do more things.
Yeah, it unlocks that kind of youthfulness, like because we're it's almost like we go back to like the part of our brain where we store the file on play, and if we were 5 or 7, or for me it was like a couple minutes ago, like, how old were you?
Just a second ago.
You did that, and it's like
the file got stuck open.
Yeah, and all of those qualities of who you were at that time become available to us. Like that's how we're putting into that costume. So the permission that we used to have as kids, and the almost like the lack of obligation, or who knows, all of the other things that were going on for our younger selves, we didn't give ourselves all the pressure that we do now.
100%.
100%. More play.
more play.
So Julie, tell us a little bit about what you have going on today, why you're in your office.
Oh, yeah. So I am a licensed massage therapist in a couple of different states in the United States, Indiana and Florida specifically. And I have 5 clients today. So I'm sneaking in on a lunch break to be here and play with y'all. And I'm blessed. This is a busy week, actually. I think I have close to 20 people that I'll end up seeing both in the clinic. We have like a reflexology party that we're doing tomorrow with some yoga and some other stuff. Because I like to play in a lot of different ways. My real shtick, I've uncovered this recently, which I think I've kind of knew. My buddy Aaron, who's your buddy as well, pointed at this when we were doing some discovery around our why and finding our why. My why tends to live in the spectrum of reminding people of who they are. Right? Like, so for me, one of the less politically correct ways of saying that was that I get off on getting others off spiritually. So it's like I delight in reminding people of their divinity specifically, like, because there's something divine about creating in a scene where I'm the author and you're the author and we're co-creating together.
Yeah.
Like we're literally writing
the story,
the script as we go. And that is a divine act. Like it's a creative act. So just in the giving people as much kind of traction and time doing that, right? They say 10,000 hours makes you a master kind of thing, right? So like how many times can we make stuff up? Oh, by the way, we're making up all of the moments, all of them.
Every one of them, yeah.
There's not one moment in my life outside of the times I played in an actual play where they were scripted, right? Like I did not know what I was going to do today. I mean, I have like a schedule that I follow or whatever, but I don't I don't actually know even the bodies that I meet. It may be a body that I is a regular and I see them every week because we're on a treatment plan. Yet the body that walks in the door is a completely different human than the last time I saw them.
Right.
And so I'm meeting them. My scene partner is brand new in this moment. I have no idea who's walking in that door or what story is going to unfold on the table or in the scene or on the stage. Like it's always brand new.
Yep. 100%. Right there with you.
Yeah, week to week, different things come up for different people. And I mean, meeting them where they're at and what their needs are spiritually, mentally, business, strategically.
One of my mentors, see if I can say this the way he said it because it was really good, is my partner is not my partner the same every day. That's because right. All of the experience and knowledge that she gained this day comes into the next day. That's right. And so she's a brand new person every day.
That's right.
And when we think about it like that, is we're brand new people. And what we end up doing is we use the old story on top of the new person that doesn't allow them to be the new person. Mm-hmm. And that's where a lot of conflict comes from, is because we keep bringing the old story along with us instead of allowing the new story to come about.
Yes. So important. And when we come from, one of the principles of improv is, how do I make my scene partner look amazing?
Right.
And another iteration of that, or maybe a whole nother thing, is I got your back. Mm-hmm. In order to employ those principles, I have to care enough about what you care about and know what you value in order to make you look amazing.
And that's, go ahead, keep going.
No, so it's like, if you have made some new epiphany today and I haven't checked in or been privy to it, hopefully you tell me, we have open enough communication that I'm able to like be on the same page with you. And sometimes things happen while we sleep. We have crazy dreams. We're like, man, and we wake up new each morning. So it's really being willing to meet each other anew and be curious, like be in discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I love about coaching, is because we're actually, whether it's your style of coaching or our style of coaching or her style of coaching versus my style of coaching, what we're really doing is different, is really inviting the people that we're working with to step into that newness and that new person and have that growth experience. And we get to watch a show every time they have some kind of achievement, as well as some kind of setback, or this didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. Mm-hmm. And we get to watch these people unfold and become who they were meant to be.
Yeah, it's powerful.
By asking questions like our opening game.
Yes.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, it's funny. So speaking to like the whole body work thing, we have protocols, the way that we have games, right? The way that we have a structure of the question game, and yet the contents of the question game are completely new each time we play. We'll never have the same scene twice, kind of thing, right? Like, so I might show up at a table ready to like do a certain protocol. I do craniosacral therapy. So I'm going to like, okay, here I do this, I open this up, and then that's the protocol. But the body is like, hey, somebody's here and listening to us. Let's handle and process the thing that's the highest priority, which might not be the protocol at all. So being willing to like have a plan and then completely go off plan if that's what the scene calls for. So it's fun. Like all of life is an improv.
It's interesting that one of the first places that I experienced that, well, I mean, I've experienced it all over the place, but really noticeably, okay, how does this work, is when I got trained to do stage hypnosis. And it's like, okay, here's your framework for how you move the show along. And then once you get the people on stage, all bets are off. It's a totally new show based on what their responses are, because they are connected to really what happens in hypnosis is we connect to that play part of us, that childlike part of us, the unconscious mind. And so we end up really just doing whatever happens as a response to the suggestion given. And so it's like, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, get them in the chairs, and then this happens, and then I give a suggestion, and then it goes out wherever it goes, because they take the suggestion based on their experience, not my words.
That's right.
See, this is when we put on events, Julie, you're going to come play improv and teach all the business people how to have a good time. And Terry will do the power of the mind, play off that. I just see this all happening and coming together. But until then, how can people get involved with you or have you on their podcast, invite you to their program to bring more fun in their lives?
Yeah.
Tell us, like, free gifts, join us.
Yes. Okay. So they can always join me on my weekly happy hour, which is Wednesday nights. It's an Eventbrite link. I usually have a Facebook event. I can share it here or post it in the comments when we're done.
Yes. Do please.
Yep. I have the whole year. You can plan ahead and pick which Wednesday you want to go. It's 6 to 7. The first time you come is free. So you can play improv, no risk. If you love it, there's a drop-in price and there's a monthly price if you want to keep coming and playing at your leisure. And then the game is available on Amazon. So I can also send a link for that. And then I'm in a couple of summits. I have one on Sunday night that I'm doing for a homeschool group and another one next week for a homeschool group on the 10th. Next Level Improv is my company. Facebook page is, facebook.com/Next Level Improv /. So come over there, check it out. Send me a private message over there. Let me know that you saw me from Christine and Dr. Terry from Generator Coaching. And we'll make sure to take really good care of you. So how's that? Is that good?
Yeah, no, we need to jump back in there. It's been a few. So Wednesday nights after Meet Cool People, maybe we jump in there.
Wednesday night happy hour. Yep. And then the game is Eastern Standard Time. Yep. I'm on Indiana time. So Eastern Standard Time.
3 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
And then Improv Against Normality is the game. You can do that. There's a Facebook group on that as well. You can get it on Amazon. Only in the U.S. though. Sorry, all my international friends.
All right, so Julie, it's always fun with you, but our signature thing is to end with this or that. You ready?
Oh yeah. What's this or that? Let's do it.
All right. It's our friend Tim Gillette, who will be on in a few weeks. It's his game. Our spin. So you choose. Commentary is okay. Sausage or bacon?
Bacon.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Skirt or pants?
Pants.
Pants.
Shorts.
Neither.
Listen to a book or read a book?
Listen to a book.
New shoes or a new bag?
Neither. Do I have them? Shoes.
The shoes that you like. It doesn't have to be a specific set.
I only have 5 sets of shoes, but that's fine.
Are you a saver or a spender?
Spender.
Spender.
Entrepreneur. Spring or fall?
Fall.
Rich or right?
Oh. Neither. Probably right then.
Is that right?
All right, and then the ever popular toilet paper over or under?
Over. Hello. Duh.
There you go.
Julie, it's been so much fun having you on the show today. Guys, try it out. Improv will change your life. Julie will change your life in so many ways. Be open to being
silly.
Yes. Play.
And the more, this is something that I heard a long time ago. I use all the time. Rule 62: don't take yourself so seriously, because if you do, no one else will.
That's great. I love it. I would say with improv, it's we can't get it wrong. There's no such thing as failure. There are only variations.
Oh, I love those. Great final thoughts from Julie and Dr. Terry.
Love you guys.
Love you too. We'll see you all next Monday, 10:10.
Where we have another special guest.
Oh yeah, who's our next guest?
Katia.
Another next Monday, 10:10. She's awesome. We love her, and we'll see you Monday, 10:10.